The following segment contains sponsored content. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and not those of Nexstar Media Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
And I love living local. I'm living local 'cause it's where I love to be.
Welcome back to Loving Living Local. I'm Gretchen Wirtz, and today we're getting down to the bottom of things with our basements. And joining us today from Force Basement is Jacob Force and Rob Williams with Force Basements. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Jacob, Force Basement came out of Force Masonry. It's been around for a long time. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so my dad started Force Masonry back in '04, and I've been working around him in the masonry trade since I was a child, and I noticed that there was a problem with basement repairs in this area. So I wanted to create a company based off Force Masonry, which revolves around quality, craftsmanship, and honesty. And when we go out to a home, I want to make sure that we are diagnosing the problem correctly, number one, being completely honest with the customer, number two, and number three, we want to fix the problem right the first time. We don't want to have to come back. But in the event that we do have to come back, because everybody makes mistakes, everybody messes up, we're going to answer our phone when the customer calls and says, hey, I have a problem. And we're going to come back out and fix the problem. We're not just going to blow them off. Yeah,
it seems to be a big problem around here.
It really is.
Trying to get somebody on the phone and trying to get a hold of somebody, especially when you have calling them back. So what do you see out there, Rob?
So the main thing that I see is that I come from a world with a larger regional company, and you're forced to sell something every time you go to a home.
Yeah.
That's what really intrigued me about Jake. That's how Jake and I got connected. When we first started talking, I just liked his attitude, the way he does business. So we go out on a lot of calls, and there's times that we go out and there's nothing wrong. We don't give him a bid. You know, when I get back to the office, Jake doesn't ding me for that.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually appreciative of that. So that's the major thing, is that when we go out, we want to find the problem and address it immediately. If there's not a problem, we're going to tell you that. We're going to be honest and upfront with you immediately.
That's a great business model. So you're connecting with the homeowners here. You're, getting a relationship and being honest and all of that.
We're finding out what their goal is, number one, and then we're telling them what their need is, based on what their goal is.
And what different options they have. It's not just always, well, you have to do this, and this is what we're doing.
Correct. And what separates us from a lot of the competitors is I don't have to sell them a product just to survive, because that's the only thing I offer.
Right.
I can rebuild the foundation, or I can take part of the wall down and rebuild part of the wall. It just depends on what's going on.
And you sent us some pictures here, and we're going to be showing them. What do you mostly see out there? What's the biggest thing?
So one of the biggest thing that I see on the negligent repair type side of this is walls that are braced incorrectly.
Really?
So when a basement company sends their salesman out to give a quote, they're at first going to start off with saying, hey, let's go ahead and brace your wall 4 foot on center to do it correctly. And they're selling the most anchors out of that. But if the customer looks at them and says, hey, that's a little bit out of my budget, they're going to say, well, our anchors are strong enough to go every 6 or 8 feet. And then they just ignore telling the customer that the wall is not strong enough to go that far of a span. And I've actually seen the walls collapse in between those anchors, as well as Rob's seen that too. And then what the homeowner's left with is a $30,000 or a $40,000 repair, depending on how long their wall is. Because if the wall collapses in one area, that whole wall has to be rebuilt.
Yeah. There's no just a quick fix for that. Wow. So getting in there and I guess, making that relationship, explaining solutions, not selling, but explaining solutions.
Yeah, not selling solutions. And there's a lot of times that, we may not be the cheapest, right? But we're providing you with a proper solution. And at night, we can sleep because of that.
Yep.
If we don't get a job because somebody says, hey, XYZ company came in and is going to put 3 braces in instead of your 5, that's up to them at that point. But at least Jake and I can sleep well at night.
Knowing, but exactly that you're doing it right. All right, we want everyone to get in touch with you guys if you have any questions about your basement. And just like you said, sometimes you find that there's nothing wrong, that there isn't. But if you need those questions answered, these are the guys to call. So give them a call over there at 642-5332. They're in Pekin. You can go to forcebasement.com. Jacob, Rob, thank you guys so much for coming by here today.
Thank you.
Good
Yeah,
luck to
thanks
you.
for
And
having
thanks
us.
for coming by. Yep. All right, more coming up. Keep it right here.
I'm living local 'cause it's where I love to be.
The preceding segment contains sponsored content. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and not those of Nexstar Media Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.